Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So thank you guys, everyone, for joining me. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving and productive Black Friday. It's Saturday here in West Michigan, and we've got some snow coming in. We had some snow like early Thanksgiving morning, and a couple inches, I think, and now we're supposed to get 6. So winter has set in here in West Michigan. Hope everyone got to spend time with their friends and their family. The market has recovered to a certain extent. We were flirting with 80,000 last week, and now we're kind of holding steady around 90,000. So that's a big improvement. So there's a lot of talk about a local bottom, if you want to think of it like that, of around 80,000. And then there's predictions of going higher. Some people have ruled out another all-time high before the end of the year, but many people are saying things like 110. So we'll see. It looks like the odds of a Fed rate decrease in December are going way up. I think I briefly saw an article today saying something about Goldman is saying that that the Fed must raise, or should raise, and must raise. So if Goldman's calling it, then it's got to be true, right? So we'll see. We'll go into the market news, and then I've got some Black Friday surprises for you. Tangem was kind enough to send me their gift box for this year. I think I have it upside down. Yeah, there it goes. This is the gift box that Tangem has on their Black Friday website at a discount, of course, and it's huge. And I just got it the other day from DHL, and so I'll unbox this so you guys can take a look at it and decide if you think it'd be something cool to have. Most of their swag stuff has been pretty cool in the past, so we'll check it out tonight. And I'll put it over here on the table. It's huge. It's going to be hard under that camera, but we'll see. So let's see who's here tonight. Let's go over here. Live scene. There we go. Okay, we got the wrong screen up, so my software does that every now and then. There we go. Kenny was here early, and Andreas Ebert was here. And yes, we have a Christmas market here in Grand Rapids. The Christ Kindle Market with no E, and we went there. We usually check it out every year. It's pretty good. I like cheese, and they have this thing there called a raclette. Oh, there it was right there. He was like spreading the cheese on the bread. It's like they take a cheese rind, they cut it in half, and then they have like these heaters underneath the cheese rind, and it heats the cheese. And then, like, they take a spatula and just slather off that top layer of melted cheese onto this bread. It's so good, but it is so stinky. The first time we went, I don't know, I think we've been like 3 or 4 years in a row now, but the first time we went and I smelled it, I didn't know what it was. I thought there was some factory downtown that was spewing out toxic waste. I was like, man, what is that stink? And then it turns out, there it is. There's the cheese. So yeah, we like to go there every year. We think it's a lot of fun. So let's see, where are we here? So Andreas Ebert went to one. I think yours is the more the OG Christmas market right there in Germany. Let's see, and I've got the email. I guess they're the emails, or I don't know why I don't get like the right handles anymore in my live stream chat. I'm just getting like your long, I don't know what they are, but they're not what I'm used to seeing. But anyway, Andreas Ampov Podcast 1624. Kenny Wiedner is here. Thank you again for the news, Kenny. I used most of your news stories from today's email. Let's see. Our Roland Kane is here. R Kane 68. Simona Mooland, I believe that is, even though it's Simon 6774. Mr. Miskey. Oh my goodness. Goofy Dude is here. Good to have you. I'm going to agree with the clickbait topic, and I believe there will be a short down the beginning of the month of December and closer towards Christmas, then head up to the right, in your humble opinion. Well, that's great. Let's hope so. Yeah, Simona Moolan, Christopher Tane from Melbourne, and Gregory Wieland. Happy Thanksgiving to you. It's close enough to not be belated yet. It's just, well, it's 2 days. You're right. Yeah, it's a couple days after. Hey, Drew is here. Paul is here. Paul Wizzle. E. Poston from Colorado. And Amsterdam, Holland. Fred McIntyre. HR by Catherine. Positive Planet. Treb3, God, these handles are so weird. Isn't that strange? How I'm getting these weirdo, I'm not getting your handles. Yeah, and that Christmas market was fun. We love going there. Raclette mostly around New Year's. Okay. I think the little story behind it is it was like, I don't know if it originated in Switzerland or Germany or where it originated, but boy, it's good. Yeah. 3 a.m. in Dubai. Wow. Wow. So if you've never been in the stream before, we've got a little description here. If you don't see all of this stuff, you can just click more underneath the video where this little talking head is, and check out all this information here. We've got a lot of Black Friday deals going on. Of course, my landing page will give you all these Black Friday discounts now. You get that $70 back on a Ledger Flex, which effectively makes the device $179. Pretty decent deal. The Ledger Nano X's are at 50% off. Pretty cool, right? And yeah, the Ledger Nano Gen 5, their brand new one, it is shipping now. You can order it. Pardon me. And they normally don't give you the $10 Bitcoin rebate on there, but they will if you use my landing page. I think other influencers too. So I can't claim exclusivity on this, but it is better than what your generic Black Friday deal would be. So you can get the Nano Gen 5 for $169. But yeah, and it's a cool device. I really like it. I was watching a Ledger video today, and they were interviewing people at Ledger Open back in October when I was there. I wasn't in that video, but they were interviewing people, and a lot of people were saying, oh, it's like a Gen Z device, I guess, because it's got like the little badges and everything. It's pretty cool. I really like mine. Yeah, I like mine. And so, yeah, those are the cool deals you can get. And I noticed, well, I won't. There are some, when I was in computer sales, every time Apple came out with a new computer, this is back in the 90s when they were a computer company, before they had the iPhone. In the mid 90s and up to 2000s, a lot of people were just coming in going, is Apple going out of business? Because they thought Apple was going to go out of business. They did not. But every time a new computer came out, all the marketing material would just talk about the advantages. And there were always disadvantages and compromises whenever there was a new one came out. And so as a salesman, we always had to figure out what that was, like when they say, oh yeah, this new G3 Power Mac looks pretty cool, and then someone would go, yeah, but it doesn't have this or that or whatever. And that was like, you had to know that in order to sell the device to people that were coming in and asking questions. So the big one with the Ledger Nano X, it's not a bad thing. It's just that you can't get free shipping if it's, I think it has to be at least $180 in your cart, something like that, to get free shipping. So if you think that you can just order a Nano X for $74 free and clear, you would be wrong because you're going to have to pay $20 shipping. And that was like one of the biggest complaints I got right away. Why can't I get this thing? All I want is one Nano X for $74 and they're making me pay 20 bucks. Well, you can get it at Best Buy for pickup, right? Well, you got to, get in your car and drive over there. But the Best Buy in my neighborhood is not far at all. Hardly worth the gas. I mean, it wouldn't be a factor for me. So if you want one and all you want is one and you just want to pay the $74, you can just pick it up at Best Buy. And then a couple of people were complaining that there were certain colors weren't available, right? It's only the base colors that get the rebate. So yeah, if you want like the fancy colors, they're not on special. So I'll tell you that right up front. There's always something, right? Yeah, and I don't think they have different colors of the stacks. But as far as I know, you can get just about any. Well, okay, they've got these, but yeah. Anyway, I'm taking too long on that. Black Friday at Trezor as well. They've got the brand new Trezor Safe 7. I've done some videos on the Trezor Safe 7. It's a great device. I really like it. I don't know where it went. Well, it's around here somewhere. Usually if I can't find it, it's on the floor somewhere. But yeah, where did it go? Anyway, I don't have time to look for it. Where'd it go? Darn that thing. Oh, well. I just had it earlier. I was doing something with it. I was erasing it. Oh, and I wanted to play with it tonight. Where did it go? Huh. Oh, I put it back in the box because I was going to do a faux unboxing. Yeah. So yeah, the Trezor Safe 7, really cool device. And yeah, here it is in the whoop-a-doo. Nice. Yeah. Boo. Nice size too. Nice, beautiful device. Anyhow, Trezor Safe 7, it's brand new. They're not discounting it, but you can get a free charger. And then 40% off on Trezor Safe 5 and Trezor Safe 3 and other stuff. Now, Tangem, I was talking about Tangem earlier. They've got, if you combine my code with the BF 2025, you'll get 30% off and $10 worth of Bitcoin store-wide. So that's pretty darn cool. I think they go through December 3rd, something like that. And then they have this family pack where you can get a black or a stealth set, and then, you can get a second set for a bundle price and $20 worth of Bitcoin. That's pretty cool. And then the Tangem ring, you can get 30% off plus $10 in Bitcoin rebates. And then this holiday box, which we're going to open today. Check it out. See what it looks like. So, and then Descent Wallet is selling theirs at a deep discount for Black Friday. So check out Descent Wallets. Videos. I've been doing videos this week. Latest videos here. Oh, and don't forget Stampseed. I love Stampseed. I was wondering what they were running for Black Friday. 21% off. That's pretty cool. Now, now this is Cyber 21. So at 21% off, I don't think that they would let you, let's see here. Normally you would use my checkout code. But I think their Black Friday one is better. But that's fine. Let it, I really like this company. I don't think you can stack. I think maybe he told me there was something you could do. Okay, apply discount code. Let's see. Well, the one, you know what, I'm getting bogged down here, but what did they say? They said something about Cyber 21. Okay, there it is. Cyber 21, and I think you can just do one. Okay, so what did they say that is? 21%. So that takes this down to, that's a $92 discount. Let's try CryptoDad and see what happens. Come on, Rex. CryptoDad. Whoops. Yeah, not quite, but that's fine. That's all right. Use their Black Friday deals. I think you should get one of these. This is the whole set. You don't need to get. I mean, you can get the full set with their own hammer and everything, or you can just get the stamps and use your own hammer. It's a little cheaper, and then you can buy the titanium cards. If you do want to do more than one. So that's Black Friday. That's pretty cool. I've been doing videos, so check out. We did this last week. We were swapping for SUI token and entering this contest. That was pretty interesting. I put a video up on that. I did this one. I don't know. I was thinking about this. Oh, we were talking about it last week, and I can't remember his name or his handle, but it's in here. I talked about him in here, and basically, and this is, I think if Dan is here, he probably remembers me talking about this way back in like 21 or before, where I tended to, all my Bitcoin wallets I tried to maintain deposit only Bitcoin wallets, which meant that they only took deposits, and by doing that, I did not expose the I'm getting it all messed up. I did not expose the public key, and if I had to withdraw from that wallet, I would take the balance of what after I withdrew and then deposit that into a new deposit only wallet, and I considered them more secure than a wallet that has its public key exposed. Now, a lot of people are like, what in the God's name is he talking about? Bitcoin wallets have a private key and a public key, and then on the private key derives the public key, and then the public key derives the receiving addresses. Now, a lot of people, when I tell them this, they go, oh, no. When you create a Bitcoin wallet, the public key is exposed, and so you can't have a wallet without a public key being exposed to the blockchain. I did a little more research, and it is like an Ethereum wallet is much more likely to expose its public key through just like initialization stuff, especially if you're using a hot Ethereum wallet. But if you're using a hardware Ethereum wallet, you can have a deposit-only Ethereum wallet, although it's not very useful because Ethereum is a working crypto. It excels interacting with Web3, so it's not really practical. Unless you're just a long-term hodler of Ethereum, you could have a hardware wallet with an Ethereum wallet on there, and you just never use it, right? You just use that, and then you have another wallet that you use for your Web3 and all that stuff. But anyway, it is conceivably more quantum resistant because when you sign a transaction, when you send crypto out of a wallet, it has to sign the transaction in order to verify ownership of the wallet, and the public key is sent out. That's how private public key cryptography works. And so once you've done that, then that public key is out there. And the idea is that it is impossible to derive a private key from a public key. But if you're in the future, when they have quantum and it breaks encryption to the point where you possibly could derive the private key from the public key, then that public key could be a liability in the future. So if you never send out from the wallet, then there's a longer chain that the quantum computer has to break to get to the private key. So, but that was my point. So I did a video on that. That was pretty long-winded, wasn't it? And then I had an interview with Charles Guillaume from Ledger, the CTO. We talked for about an hour. I posted the first part of the video. After I got done with the interview, I realized that it neatly broke up into 3 sections. The first section, I kind of asked him how he got into cryptography and joined Ledger, and then we talked about the Ledger architecture,
which the more I learn about the ledger architecture, the more I understand what uh, a secure wallet it is compared to other brands, really. I would highly recommend you check out this interview. I know it's only about 20 minutes. And then in the next section, I had a lot of user questions that were, I'm sure he's gotten a lot of those before, but stuff that people ask me about Ledger, and questions that I particularly had about Ledger. And so that went about 20 minutes. And then the last section was where he and I talked about Ledger architecture versus the Trezor Safe 7. And he kind of talked what he thought about the Trezor Safe 7. So those last two sections I haven't posted yet publicly, because I need to do little intros and outros for him and everything. But I'll get those done probably in the next week or so. Great guy, very intelligent guy, and I was very lucky to have his ear for an hour. What's this? Oh yeah, the Ledger Nano G5 phone only setup. A lot of people ask me about this. I'm of course very computer desktop centric. And then I get a lot of people in the world, all over the world, don't have access to a computer, or they do, but they're much more comfortable doing crypto on their phone. And so I always get questions like, how do I do this with my phone? Can I set this thing up with my phone? And the answer is yes. So I did a video on a full Nano 5 setup using only the phone. And then I'll be doing the same thing for the Trezor Safe 7, because it is the first Trezor device that has Bluetooth and will work with the phone. So I just had a comment earlier on my Trezor unboxing video saying, "Oh, it's a shame you can't it's a shame you have to connect it to your computer." Because he's so worried about the hackers sneaking in through the USB cable, I guess. But you don't have to do that now. You can set up a Trezor Safe 7 using only your phone, so you don't have to connect it with a USB cable. Of course, you're using Bluetooth. The more you dive into all of this, you realize that the connection is not really the issue. This whole idea of air-gapped computers and it shouldn't touch anything. It sounds good, but it's mostly security theater. Like taking off your shoes when you go through TSA checkpoints, like that's supposed to make the world safer or something. And it's not just to humiliate you and turn you into docile little. Anywho, we won't go into that. But yeah, security theater. It has to interact with something, guys. So USB cable, Bluetooth, or even if if it's air gapped, you still are scanning QR codes. There are such things as malicious QR codes, and there are such things as malicious SD cards, because in order to update firmware on so-called air-gapped devices, you have to download the updates from the web, put them on an SD card, and then stick the SD card in the device. So that's an attack surface. So this whole paranoia of, I don't want to connect it to my computer, I just want to do it offline and clean. And it's like, yeah, well, I don't know. You can't really do crypto in a in a hermetically sealed vacuum. It just doesn't work like that. It's got to interact with something. The security of the device is that even though there's communication, the private key never leaves the device. It signs the transaction that comes in, and then it sends it back out. So worrying about that interface is overkill, right? The devices are designed to take communication and filter out anything malicious. That's the whole idea of a crypto hardware device. Anywho, we're getting in the weeds here. What is it, 6:30 already? I haven't even gotten to the news? Oh my Lord. Let's go to the news. I better launch my browser here. Yeah, we had dinner whoops.
Explored.
Oh, I've been watching Civ 7 videos all day. All right, so here we go. We're in the news. Bitcoin forms short-term bottom, 100K relief rally in sight. So we think Bitcoin may be forming a local bottom as RSI nears oversold and whales open longs, fueling a possible relief rally towards the $100,000, $110,000 zone. We'll see. Bitcoin may be carving out a short-term bottom after weeks of heavy selling, with one market analyst arguing that conditions are in place for a relief rally towards 100K or 110K. In a recent video, trader Mr. Crypto said, that's my son, by the way, said Bitcoin's short-term structure shows signs of stabilization following what he described as a capitulation across the market. He claimed that indicators tied to trader behavior suggest that large players have begun opening new long positions, despite the sentiment plunging into extreme fear territory, a mix that has historically preceded bounces during downturns. One of the main technical signals cited is the Bitcoin Relief Strength Index, RSI, on the weekly chart, which is approaching the 30 level. We have bottomed out for Bitcoin right here. We have been reaching the 30 level, he said. The analyst noted in past cycles, this zone has coincided closely with market bottoms. While he cautioned that this does not guarantee the start of a new bull run, he said the current setup offers signals at least of a temporary reversal. So the big question with Bitcoin chartists, Bitcoin investors, Bitcoin watchers is does the 4-year cycle still hold? Bitcoin historically has followed roughly a 4-year cycle where it goes up, it peaks, and then it goes back down again, and then it peaks again. These 4-year cycles are getting shorter in time, but we're looking at 2.5 years at least, or closer to 3, if the 4-year halving cycle holds as far as the chart goes. The big, the big question here is the 4-year cycle a thing of the past, and does it not hold anymore? So if that's the case, then anything goes, right? It could continue going up now that we have institutional support behind us, or it could, stay in a holding pattern. We don't know. If it crashes back to, a really low level like 70K or something like that, then we'll probably, know that that 4-year cycle is, rearing its ugly head again. But until that happens, we won't know for sure. Another thing I'd like to point out while I've got your ear is that I've been reading some articles about Bitcoin, and a lot of people on, Medium that write and stuff for a living, I guess that's what they do, have their 2 cents to put in, now that they've been watching Bitcoin for a year or two. The funny thing is that they're claiming, I've read a few articles that were claiming that, that Bitcoin is a big conspiracy by the big boys, right? The big banks, the big finance, they're making the money and you're getting the shaft, right? The little guy is getting the shaft. And that it was all a big conspiracy, from the start, to, steal all our investment income. I don't think that's true. I mean, if you look at the history of the banks and big finance, they were vehemently doing everything they could to marginalize and minimize and criminalize Bitcoin from the get-go. It was always, all the Bitcoin bashing over the years. They fought tooth and nail to badmouth Bitcoin and crypto investors. If you remember some of the things that Jamie Dimon was saying back in 2018 and 19 and maybe 20, he even bagged his own daughter in public for buying Bitcoin. He said he would fire any traders that he found that were buying Bitcoin. I mean, and he's just one guy, but he's kind of, the spokes hand puppet for the financial industry. They hated Bitcoin. And now that, they tried everything they could do to fight it, they've kind of capitulated now, and now they're on board. But I don't think it was their plan, right? I believe Bitcoin, the idea of Bitcoin, just can't be destroyed, right? Its time has come, and it's an emergent technology based on advanced cryptography, public key cryptography, and public-private key cryptography, and it's a way to it's the revolution or internet of value, right? So we had the internet of information, right? Now everyone's got all the information they need at their fingertips. That was a huge revolution in my lifetime. And now we're having the revolution of value, right? The internet of value, the blockchain. The powers that be can't stop it. They can't fight it, and they've basically lost, and now they're on board. So I don't think it's some big conspiracy by, the big tech will do their best to manipulate the market just like they do the gold market. But that doesn't mean that those of us who are into self-custody and self-sovereignty have not been screwed over by, some deep conspiracy. So that's my view of Bitcoin and cryptography and cryptocurrency. It's a world, a new way of looking at the world. Spot Bitcoin ETF break 4-week outflow. Good news. Streak with 70 million in weekly inflows. Finally, we're in good shape now. ETF also turns positive, and analysts flag a potential Bitcoin bottom. Still talking about the Bitcoin bottom here. Spot Bitcoin ETF, ETFs ended a bruising month of withdrawals with a modest turnaround, posting roughly 70 million in net inflows for the week. So that's good news. By the way, I do have all these stories linked down in the description, down at the bottom of the description, if you want to read these news stories. So I'm going to kind of gloss over them because I've been off on a few tangents here. Crypto sentiment moves up from extreme fear after 18-day stretch. After 18 days at the bottom of a widely used crypto market sentiment index, the market appears to be showing early signs of improving sentiment. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index, which measures overall crypto market sentiment, posted a fear score of 28 on Saturday, the first time since November 10th that it hasn't posted an extreme fear score. So things are looking up all over, aren't they? Okay, yeah, I kind of wanted to cover this Upbit hack. I didn't hear much about it, but apparently the Koreans, South Koreans, or I guess, yeah, it's weird. There's North and South Korea, but Koreans call themselves Korean. But they still bag on North Korea, but they never say, oh, I'm South Korean. They just like, I'm Korean, and those people in the North are messed up. Anyhow, I lived there for like 3 years. And there was always some scare that the North was about to attack or whatever, and it never panned out. And then when I moved back to the U.S. and there were stories about North Korea, oh, North Korea, they're going to kill everybody and take over the world. I'm like, yeah, I've heard that before. Come on. Okay, so where am I? Here we are. South Korean crypto traders are having an outsized effect on local altcoin prices following a major hack at South Korean exchange Upbit, according to CryptoQuant CEO Ki-Young Ju. Upbit got hacked and paused withdrawals, but Koreans are pumping alts since arbitrage bots are no longer running. Shortly after the exchange halted transaction activity after detecting an abnormal transaction with a value of around 36 million, With arbitrage activity suspended, local buy orders are having more significant pressure on prices, allowing Korean-listed altcoins to surge as the selling pressure that typically puts a ceiling on price increase has disappeared. Unbelievable scenes here. Hack happens and Koreans just flip it into a rally. Upbit announced on Thursday that it had suspended deposits and withdrawals after identifying an unauthorized transaction involving Solana wallets. We immediately identified the extent of the digital asset outflow and caused the abnormal withdrawals, and will cover the entire amount. So Bybit's going to make good. What I wanted to talk about here was they mentioned something about hot wallets and cold wallets. Here we are. The exchange clarified that while the hot wallet was impacted, its cold wallets, where the majority of user funds are stored, were not compromised. So this is a major exchange, and they're highlighting the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet. So a cold wallet is a wallet where the private key is safely offline, and it has to be, in order to sign a transaction, you have to use a hardware device or a signer like a ledger or a Trezor or some other type of device. That is a cold wallet. Now, a lot of people think cold wallet means that it freezes the price of Bitcoin when you put it in there, but that's not true. The value of Bitcoin fluctuates whether it's in your wallet or not in your wallet. And so if it goes in at a certain price, when it's time to withdraw, it'll be whatever market price is. But a cold wallet is superior in security to a hot wallet. Hot wallet has its private keys exposed to the internet, and hackers love that, right? So that's what got hacked on Bybit, was their servers running their hot wallets. So another testament to investing in good self-custody practices, which would include a hardware device, right? Definitely. So let me get caught up on the chat. Sorry, I went on some tangents there. Maybe I'll edit those into something I can post. Bitcoin is the future, and you should look 15 to 20 years down the road. You will forget about these pullbacks when Bitcoin is worth more than 10 million per coin. Good, Dan. Good to have you here. Done with this stupid crypto, man. Nothing is tired of all the overhype about certain crypto. I think it's all a mass psyop to get people hopefully involved in. I wasn't referring to you when I was talking about the people that were saying that it's, the powers that be conspiracy. I was just talking about that, if you've been around, you'll know that the powers that be were vehemently opposed to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for many years. But I didn't even see your little post there. I wasn't reflecting on you personally. By the way, I'm not drinking blood like a vampire or anything. I'm drinking a Fitz Cardinal Cream Soda. Oh, man, I love these. You have to get them at specialty stores. I love these. All right. And I want to put it somewhere where I'm not going to spill it when I try to open that box up. I was hoping you discuss the deposit-only subject. Yeah, if you're interested in that deposit-only subject of wallets, please check out that video. I think I did a pretty good job of breaking it down in a pretty understandable format, right? I explain it very succinctly, I believe. I did my research and I produced that video. So if you're interested in that, that deposit-only wallet scenario and what it does, you might want to check out that video. But we're talking about something that won't be around for years. Someone today said something about in a comment or an email that they were worried about quantum in the next year or two. Quantum is nowhere near breaking elliptic curve cryptography. A quantum computer would need millions of stable qubits to do such a thing. And even the high-end quantum computers out there are on the order of 1,000 qubits. And if you've ever seen what a quantum computer looks like, qubits are very unstable. They have to be in like a cold room. They have to be under very controlled environmental factors and everything. And qubits tend to interfere with each other. It's not like a normal computer where you have bits that are either on or off, right? A qubit can be in both states at the same time. And they have yet to do anything really useful because, the beauty of a computer is if I go and, I'm working on my computer and I put in some input, I'll always get the same output every time I do it because it's deterministic. So, and that's useful, right? So if I click on a video and it plays the video, that's great. But a quantum computer does not always give you the same output for the same input. You could give it the same input 50 times and you get 50 different results, right? So it's good for certain decentralized type tasks, but it's not very useful for everyday tasks. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of hype around quantum because there's a lot of people that have a lot of money invested in quantum. A lot of quantum companies that have been promising big stuff for quantum technology for the last 20, 30 years. They really haven't delivered yet. So, you got to keep the hype up so people will keep giving you money and supporting your business. So anyway, I know we live in the time where technology moves at a, blinding speed. But that doesn't mean that, we're going to have everything, right away. Certain things still take time. Does sending from one cold wallet to another cold wallet expose the key? Yes, 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 yes. When you send, now you say the key. I'm talking about the public key, not the private key. I know this is a really confusing conversation. I'm not talking about exposing the private key. The private key is what keeps the wallet secure. The public key is something completely different. And yes, when you send a transaction from a cold wallet, you have exposed the public key of that wallet, not the private key. And so if you want to keep your wallet deposit only, then move your balance to a new wallet. That's what I always do. Or maintain two wallets, one for deposits only and one for your in and out kind of stuff. If you got a sending wallet, if you want to send crypto to your friends or, pay for coffee or, buy stuff online with crypto, that's your working wallet. And that should be cold too. And exposing the public key is not going to make the wallet suddenly empty out, from hackers. We're talking about future proofing the wallet. We're talking about 50 to 100 years in the future. We're not talking about as soon as I send a transaction out, the wallet is suddenly insecure. It's not. We're just, I don't know. I shouldn't even get into this subject. It's too deep. So anyhow, if you look at the weekly chart, there was hidden bullish divergence in the RSI. That's good. The blockchain does not scare TradeFi, but now they're figuring out how to leverage. Yes, that's true. That is for sure. There's always rich guys that want to leverage and corner markets. I totally agree with that. All the FUD was to slow down adoption until TradeFi could get deeper into it. I agree with that conspiracy. I felt that was what happened in 21 with the Terra Luna collapse and the FX collapse. I think there were big, deep pockets behind those collapses, and they wanted to get in, right? They wanted to bring things down so that they could get in. Let's see. Wow, what was it like in North Korea? I was in South Korea. I worked in Seoul. And it's funny because the schools that I worked with, some of the Koreans there, most of the English schools, I taught English. They they needed native speakers to teach the kids conversational English and pronunciation, and learn how to speak. And I was teaching 6-year-olds up through high school and some adults later. But they also needed Korean teachers there that could explain the grammar to them in Korean. So there were, there were classes where it was just me and the kids, and then there were other classes where it was the Korean teachers. So of course, all these Korean teachers were bilingual, and we talked, and I found out that it's illegal in South Korea to say anything positive about the North Koreans. Or talk positively about them. I don't know. It was weird when they said that to me. They're like, oh, you're not allowed to say anything good about the North Koreans or whatever. I was like, okay. Anyhow, but yeah, I loved South Korea. It was great. Wonderful. I'm sure the people in North Korea are just as wonderful and nice and honorable as the people in South Korea. They just got split up by the powers that be. The Russians took the North, the U.S. took the South, and, they've been two separate countries ever since. Back in World War II. Let's see here. Trouble getting BTC off an exchange due to crypto travel rule. Do I still keep on exchange or just go into BTC ETF instead? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know I know some exchanges are a little more strict about this travel rule than others, but you should be able to register your wallet if you have to get it off the exchange. Do what you got to do, register your wallet. And then once you've got it in your wallet, then you can do what you want with it. Right. But yeah, I don't know the exchange you're talking about. You can sign a transaction on any app as long as the key is stored offline. If you have a seed phrase generated on an app, deleted app stored offline, I count that as cold wallet. Thoughts? If you have a seed phrase generated on an app, deleted app stored offline, I count that as a cold wallet. Docport, if you're using a hot wallet to generate that seed, even though you delete it afterward, you still have some exposure to the internet, albeit very, very small, right? The idea is when the seed is generated on the hardware device, completely offline, and then you can write down that seed phrase, and then you can wipe that device, then yes, you've got a cold wallet. If you want to think of it like that. Yeah, but I mean, if I use MetaMask to generate a seed phrase and then I delete MetaMask afterward, I'm pretty sure that seed phrase hasn't been exposed to anything, but the chance is there if it's done while you're online, right? You could disconnect your computer, and I think MetaMask will generate a seed phrase for you even if you're not connected to the internet. I think there are ways to run the JavaScript when you're offline and do that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can do it on BIP39 too. If you go to the BIP39 website, Cole, you can generate a seed phrase. Boom, there it is. Of course it's empty, and I'm not going to use it because everyone has seen it. But this code can be downloaded and run offline. See, you got the offline usage. You can go to their GitHub site and download the code to your computer, and use the Java code in a browser to generate that key and on your computer. And then if you're completely offline, then I would say it's cold wallet. Never mind. Once an output is spent, the address is dead, so exposing this public key doesn't create a practical risk for the owner anymore. Yeah, that's true. I don't mean to be an alarmist by saying, you don't want to expose your public key. That's a little overly, it's almost OCD. So yeah, I think I'm not trying to scare people into thinking that you're going to, expose your wallet to hackers by sending a transaction out. we're talking about fine points here. Anyway, let's go ahead and open this box. Let's see what we got here. And, you know, it's huge. It won't even fit on this camera, right? Let's see if we can, let's get it open here. So this is the gift set from Tangem. They sent me this. Very nice of them. I love Christmas time. I get all kinds of cool stuff from my affiliate partners. And this is... Try not to kill myself here. Did I just slice the camera open? Okay. All right. Oh boy. Now is this going to come open? I feel like it's... I'm just going to have to move it. All right. Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, you guys can watch me do it over here. I think I got this thing straight here. Let's see if... There might be some tape on here, right? Maybe not. No, there's not. Okay. So let's see if I can get it open. I usually do this when I'm struggling to open a box. I usually edit that part out of my recorded videos. But here we are, live, trying to open this thing. It's giving. Here we go. I'm making some progress. There it comes. Whee! Hey, we got it. All right, so boop-a-doo. All right. There we go. Let's look at it over here. Whoops. Let's move this thing. Put this knife away so I don't slice my hand open. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, come on now. Don't... Is it going to focus? There it goes. Whee! All right, so this is my card. Oh boy, look at all this great stuff. Oh boy. We got some great stickers here. These are really cool. I like these stickers. If you want to keep a secret, you must also hide it from yourself. George Orwell. That's really the driving philosophy behind the Tangem wallet, which is the card generates the key and never shows it to the user. The user can use the card to sign transactions, but the key itself is never exposed to the user. The user doesn't have to write down the seed phrase. You can if you want to. They added that feature later. But the philosophy behind the wallet is seedless, in the sense that you don't have a backup phrase. The cards are your backup, right? I know if you lose all your cards, you lose all your crypto. That's true. Just like if you lose a diamond ring, you lose your diamond ring. If you lose a gold coin, you lose a gold coin. It's the same concept, right? You don't lose it. I was like, people always, that's the first question. What if I lose it? I'm like, what, are you planning on losing it? Because you sure sound like you want to lose it. You know, if that's your first reaction to something is like, what if I lose it? I'm like, why? What, are you planning on it? I mean, I've had my car keys for 5 years now. I haven't lost them. Some people do, but you know, just take care of your stuff, man. So let's see. What did they do? Did they give me anything personal here? Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be a little, hey, Rex, thank you. No, it's just, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this great Tangem card here where they explain how this company started and how it works, their mission. I really like Tangem's philosophy because it is a major problem in crypto. You know, there's so many, like the guy who was asking me about connecting his Trezor, you know, with a USB cable, and you know how, you know, he's so worried about that. You know, so many people are worried about, you know, the attacks that really are so negligible. Not even, you know, shouldn't even worry about that kind of stuff. They worry about people tampering with their device in the supply chain. They're just worried about the wrong things. The number one attack vector is a user mismanaging their backup phrase. Woof. 95%, maybe more, higher, of how people lose crypto with hot and cold wallets is mismanaging that seed phrase. Writing it down incorrectly, losing it, revealing it, being tricked into revealing it. That is the number one attack vector for scammers and hackers, is tricking people into revealing their seed phrase. Tangem is created a solution to that problem by creating a seedless wallet, right? All right, so let's take a look. This is really nice here. Oh my God. Can I get this out? Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. Try not to break or scratch it because this is really nice. Oh yeah. This is really a nice water bottle. Thermos, right? It's just gorgeous. Oh, it's a sippy cup, right? I guess I don't know if you could move the straw out, right? I'll have to explore this. Oh, here it is. Is that it? Ah, there it goes. This way. There you go. Okay. This is gorgeous, right? I'm sure there's people that are joggers and health people that are like, he doesn't know how to use a water bottle. Yeah. But it's black with the Tangem logo. It's really cool. Let's see what else they got here. What is this? Oh, I believe this is a tote bag. So, oh, yeah. This is really nice. Okay. Yeah. Gorgeous tote bag. Whoops. Camera kind of went flaky on me here. Yeah. So it's a deep one. Right? You can't really see it. Oh, come on. Let's look over here. Let's look on this guy. Yeah, so this is it. It's pretty nice, right? So cool stuff. And, the main attraction, I believe this is a stealth set of Tangem cards. So the stealth card is, oops, I have one over here. Yeah, the stealth card has no markings on it whatsoever, because people are so worried that someone's going to see their Tangem card with the logo on it and immediately stick a gun in their face and take all their crypto. I know, but I mean, there were so many people complaining, and I don't know what the ring. Yeah, people were complaining about the ring because the ring has the Tangem logo on the inside somewhere. I don't see it right now, but it's there. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I can't even see it right now, but it is there. There is a Tangem logo on the inside of the ring, and people were complaining about that. Oh, what if someone sees the logo? They're going to know. They're going to steal all my crypto. So Tangem responded to you and made the stealth card set that does not have any logos on it whatsoever. So there you go. You got the Tangem stealth set, and I believe this is just a normal Tangem card holder. Okay, what do we got here? Let's see what this is. Always move knives away from you. That's what they taught me in Boy Scouts. Okay. And what is this? Ugh, here we go again. I got a box I can't get open. Hello? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm box challenged, apparently. Okay, what is this? Oh my God. Okay, there we go. What in the world is this? Okay.
Ooh, very nice. Oh my goodness, yeah, that is nice. All right. Oh, okay. So this is you could use for many purposes. A couple of. It's a very minimalist card holder for just maybe your ATM card and maybe a Tangem card or two, or your ID and an ATM card and a Tangem card. That's all you need, right? But it's beautiful. It's leather. It's very nice. Oh, yeah. Maybe if I held it under the camera, you guys could see it a little better. Soft leather. Very nice. It's quality. Everything in here is high quality. The water bottle, the box, the packing, everything is just very high quality. And this is a great Tangem stealth card set. I want to thank Tangem for sending it to me. You might want to check it out. It'd be a great gift for the crypto hodler in your life, right? So if your hubby or your wife is into crypto and they have Tangem card already, and they're into crypto, you can always use another wallet. I don't know what this mindset of people have about, which wallet should I buy? Buy whatever wallet you want and get more. You don't have to choose. You've got a whole ecosystem of use cases out there. So I have Tangem, I have Ledger, I have Trezor, I have OneKey, I have Descent, I have a lot of different wallets. You don't want to keep all your crypto in one place, right? So spread it out. And you've got different use cases for crypto. You've got long-term storage. You've got like a working wallet that you might use that wallet for interacting, maybe trading, sending back and forth, or like a small working wallet like a Tangem for paying for things on the go. So there's all kinds of, as crypto becomes more mainstream, there's going to be a lot of, more interactive use cases for crypto. And so Tangem is right there with, a seedless card set for good portable crypto self-custody. And of course, the cards have access codes. So if someone steals your card, they can't access the crypto. That's another big question I get about Tangem. But yeah, I like this box. You could give this to anybody that's into crypto and they would consider it just, a great gift. And, it's cheaper than a juicer. I want a juicer and I found out like the juicer that I want is like $600. It's on sale now on Black Friday for $4.99. So, but I still, that's a lot of money, But of course, whenever I buy something, I got to have the best. So I can't buy the $100 juicer, of course. But yeah, I would be thrilled to get this from anyone. I'm thrilled to get it from Tangem. But if you want to get a great Christmas gift for the crypto aficionado in your life, this is just wonderful gift, So it's cool stuff. Whoops. Let's go back over here. Okay, let's get back to this. Yeah, Doc Capital is, chiming in a little bit on the discussion that I've beat to death last week and this week about deposit-only wallets. Probably a lot of the early Bitcoin wallets had their public keys exposed for sure. Because the early days of Bitcoin, most of them were hot wallets, from 2008. It wasn't until like 2014 that Satoshi Labs made the first Trezor device and Ledger came out with their device. So before that, there were a lot of exposed public keys, not to mention private keys. So yeah, for sure. If you want to receive Bitcoin from a friend or family, you have to expose your public key.
You won't, if you want to receive Bitcoin from a friend or family member, you have to expose. Well, if you're sending, you expose your public key, but if they send to you, you're fine. If they're sending it to your deposit-only wallet, but they'll expose their public keys. But once again, exposing the public key is not a risk in elliptic curve cryptography. We're just talking about future threats down the road. That's what makes public-private key cryptography secure, is that you can send your public key as verification that you own the wallet. Let's see here. I have 2 Ledger S. It's old, but they are working perfectly. I gave them to my kids. Do you think it's about time to update them, or as long as they are functioning, it's okay? What's your take? My take is that as long as you have the seed phrase for those 2 old ledgers, you're fine. If something gives on the old device, you can just get a new one and hit the ground running using that restore. Although I would verify those seed phrases, make sure that they are correct. It sounds like you may have more than one ledger laying around. So if you have an old unused ledger device, use those seed phrases for those 2 that you gave your kids, and make sure you can successfully restore to a new device. And then for sure that seed phrase is valid. I've run into a few cases where someone was trying to do a restore, dug out their old seed phrase, and then something was wrong with it. And God forbid, I wouldn't want that to happen to one of your kids. So the solution there is just verify the seed phrase. There's a recovery check on a Ledger device. I don't know that it works on the Ledger Nano S or not. Maybe. But the easiest way to verify a seed phrase is to do a test restore, maybe to a different device. After you've done that test restore and then tested that restored device against their Ledger Live accounts or whatever, you verified that everything's good, then you can wipe that test restore device, and you'll know that their seed phrases are good. So if something happens to their Ledger Nano S, and you need to move them to a Ledger Nano S Plus or a Ledger Nano X or a Ledger G5 or whatever, you won't have to worry because you've got the seed phrase. So that's my take on it. If you want to ride that horse till it's dead, that's fine because you've got your vault, your seed phrases backed up. I personally like to have the latest and the greatest. You always want a working device, right? You don't want a device, as long as they're checking and using the device on a day-to-day or month-to-month or bi-monthly, whatever. As long as the device is working, that's great, but just don't let it sit in a drawer gathering dust for 5 years with no updates and then dig it out and think it's going to work. I mean, you wouldn't do that with your phone. But as long as you have the seed phrase, you can always restore to a new device. So it's fine. I like to have a working device that whenever I need access to my crypto, I have a working device that's ready to go. I don't want to have to dig out a device and find out it's not working and then do a restore. Because generally, when you're doing that, if you pull out that device for whatever reason and it's not working, then it's going to be stressful to do the restore. Right? So the best thing to do would be to have a working device that's up to date and working. Plus, Ledger Nano S doesn't support the latest security features like transaction check and clear signing. It's not that the device is insecure, it's that if you're doing Web3, transaction check can help you prevent you from signing something malicious. And clear signing will also help because you'll be able to see exactly what you're signing, so you're not just blindly signing stuff. So Ledger Nano S doesn't support those updated security features. Now, if you're just holding, and not doing anything, then you don't really need transaction check and clear signing, but you would, you should have a good working device that supports all the latest stuff. In my view. But there's nothing wrong with letting your kids hang on to a Ledger Nano S as long as you have the seed phrase. Verified my seed phrase. Like you said, using your video, I put it off but wanted it done before I might update my software to the platform. Thank you for your help so much. You're welcome. Grace of God 12. Tangem is the best. Your how-to videos are priceless. Thank you, Fighter Pilot. I appreciate that. YouTube has changed a lot since I started my channel back in 2017. And even before 2017, those years, it used to be that YouTube was a medium for the amateur. How to fix a table, how to play a guitar, how to take the screen, how to replace the hard drive on an iMac, just like, how to keep your plants. And they were just normal people, with a video camera, or a webcam or whatever. Now, YouTube is more of a media outlet, and YouTube favors the mainstream, media types. They broadcast sports now. It kind of hacks me off when, I go to my YouTube homepage and I see celebrities posting YouTube shorts. I'm like, okay, like how am I going to compete with Jake Gyllenhaal, when he's out there posting shorts? I don't know that he does. I'm just saying, whatever the celebrity may be, Katy Perry or whatever, it's like, it's like, how do you compete? But I've just kind of decided that, look, I'm never going to be like a flashy video editor. I thought about trying to get there, but I'm just never going to be that. I'm just going to be who I am, and do what I do, which is tutorials. There are other crypto channels out there. There's other crypto security channels. But I just kind of stick to what I do. I have a pretty unique niche. Crypto itself is a niche, and crypto self-custody is another niche. And then self-custody tutorials are an even smaller niche. And so that's my thing. I'm probably never going to have 1 million subscribers, but people like Fighter Pilot that came in and thanked me for my tutorials, I get a lot of those personal thank yous from people, and that means the world to me, and it makes it worth my while to do what I do. And I feel like my tutorial videos have some longevity to a certain extent. I mean, I'm not going to, if someone asks me how to set up a ledger, I'm not going to direct them to my, how to set up a ledger Nano S from 2017. I'm going to show them, oh, you might want to check out my latest setup video on the G5 that I did last month, but they do, hopefully the concepts have some longevity, and you guys enjoy them. I enjoy doing them. And sometimes I talk too much and I have to go back through and brutally cut out. It's so funny, like I'll record a tutorial or a setup and then it's like, damn, it's like an hour long, like even after I edited out all the goofs. So now I got to go back and just like be ruthless and say, I'm just going to cut that part out where I, went on, a 5-minute tangent on, how to keep the seed phrase safe. It's kind of like, I've said all that stuff before anyway. So, yeah, thanks. I won't change. I swear I won't. I enjoy life. I enjoy my family. I have a kind of a day job that I do. I work from home and I do this channel, and I'm happy with my life. My kids are doing great. My wife I'm always home for my kids and my wife. So I spend a lot of time at home, and I don't spend 12 hours a day on my YouTube channel. I usually, after we drop the kids off at school, come home, between 8 and 2. That's my work time. And then after we get home with the kids, I usually, I'm done, right? Every now and then I'll work. Like last week, I worked a little after we got home from school because I had, Black Friday was coming up. But yeah, it's a good, I'm glad you enjoy my videos. I enjoy making them, and I enjoy, my little niche on YouTube. We're heading into the holidays, guys. Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention this. I'm not going to do Saturday next week. I'll probably do Sunday. We're going to go to Indiana and meet my cousins and my step uncle. I just call him Uncle John. He's a great guy. He married my aunt, Carol. God rest her soul. But her two daughters, my cousins, we get together on the holidays with their families. And every year we try to do something, whether it's we have dinner together, so if it's Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, yeah, next week I'm driving down to Auburn, Indiana on Saturday, which was convenient for everyone else. So I didn't say, hey, I got to do my live stream. I'm like, I'll be there. And so I'm going to be in Indiana next Saturday, but I'll schedule the stream for Sunday, and I'll see you guys on Sunday. I know there's a lot of people that maybe don't know, and I don't get as many views when I do them on Sunday, but it's the holidays. So yeah, I won't be here next Saturday, but I'll be here Sunday night, 6 p.m. And we'll just do it that way. We'll just delay for 1 hour, and I'll try to post and stuff and keep everybody aware of the situation, so you don't show up next Saturday going, what happened to Rex? Yeah, I'll be down at the Cracker Barrel in Auburn having dinner. So I look forward to seeing you guys here. Oh, you have an Uncle John that passed in 2016, and his wife, my aunt, is Aunt Carol. Wow, that's pretty wild. Yeah. My mom had 5 siblings. She was one of 6, and her older sister was Carol, and they were really close, and they would come down to visit us in Texas when Carol had her vacation. She'd come down with her 2 daughters, and I have a brother, so they were like sisters to us because we spent a lot of time with them. And so as we're all older now, and then, but Carol got remarried later in life after I was older, and she married John. And yeah, so, but Carol has since passed, but Uncle John's still kicking and rocking it. So he's the one that showed me how to shoot a rifle. He said he trained hundreds of recruits when back in the Army in the 50s. Good guy. Anyway, guys, gotta go now. I think there's a good movie on Netflix finally, and we're gonna go up there and watch that. And I'll be back on Sunday next week. It's great to have everybody here. Thank you so much for all of your best wishes. I wish you guys the best too. It's my hope that you'll learn how to practice self-custody and be comfortable with self-custody. Don't get all freaked out about what I said about deposit-only wallets. It's just very theoretical. If you follow my tutorials and properly set up your wallet and keep your seed phrase safe, you'll have your crypto for years to come. And that's my wish for everyone, that you'll be self-sovereign and that you'll benefit from this crypto revolution. So once again, I want to thank everyone that was here tonight. Thank you, Kenny, so much for the news. As always, thank you, Dan, for moderating and being in here. Thank you, everyone that asked questions. If I didn't get to your question, please shoot me an email. It's at the bottom of the description, the CryptoDad@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to answer your questions via email. Let's see. I think I got to do this, right? Yeah. I will be back again next week on Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Good night, everybody.